Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. In the last session, we discussed about software development lifecycle, that is also called as SDLC. SDLC nothing but it will represent the end-to-end process of software project development. How a company is going to develop a project and company will deliver the project to the client. Everything we are going to discuss as part of SDLC. So SDLC contains several phases. What are the phases available? Requirements gathering is available. Requirements analysis available. Designing, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. These are called as SDLC phases. Okay. Now, so every company will follow these SDLC phases to develop and deliver software application to the clients. Now here, in this SDLC, there are several methodologies are available. The first methodology that is called as waterfall methodology. What is the meaning of waterfall methodology? Waterfall methodology is step-by-step approach to develop, test, and deliver application to the client. So here in the waterfall methodology, everything will happen in the forward direction. After one step is completed, then only we will go for second step. Requirements and budget is fixed in the waterfall methodology. Client involvement will be very less when you go for this waterfall model. Okay. Client will see the project only at the end. Fine. So this waterfall methodology is not suitable for today's world, because in the today's world, every day the requirements are getting changed. Every day new ideas, every day new thoughts, new competitors will be available. So we cannot go with fixed requirements in the application to do the business in the today's world. So that's why companies are moving from waterfall model to agile model. What is this agile model? Agile model is called as iterative model. In this agile model, requirements are not fixed, budget is not fixed, and client involvement will be very high in the agile methodology. In the agile methodology, we are not going to deliver entire application at a time. In the agile methodology, application will be delivered in multiple releases. Suppose, for example, if a client has given 100 requirements, we are not going to develop all the 100 requirements at a time. Out of the 100, let us take first few requirements. Let us plan them. Let us develop. Let us test. Let us deploy and take the feedback from the client. Then after go for next the few requirements, plan them, develop, test them, and deliver them. Then take the feedback. So like this, in the agile methodology, planning, development, testing, and delivery is a continuous process. So here, for every 2 months, 3 months, client will see what we are doing, how we are doing, any changes are required. Client will give the feedback on our work. So in the agile methodology, client involvement will be very high. So that's why nowadays clients and companies are choosing this agile methodology to develop and deliver our application. So software development lifecycle process we understood. In the software development lifecycle process, where our DevOps engineers will be involved, guys. What is the role of the DevOps engineer in this SDLC methodology? DevOps engineers will be involved in all the phases of the SDLC. From the starting to ending point, DevOps engineers will be involved. DevOps engineers are responsible to understand the project requirement and understand the infrastructure required for the project, set up the infrastructure and configure the softwares that are required to run our application, set up the database, set up the servers, set up the configuration files. So everything that is required to run our application, then build and deploy our application, then deliver application to the customer. Complete operations will be taken care by DevOps engineers. In the project, developers will be available and operations team will be available. Developers are responsible to write the code. Operations team is responsible to deploy that code and deliver that code to the customer. So here, every DevOps engineer should involve in SDLC methodology. So SDLC phases will be available. DevOps engineers also will be part of all the phases in the SDLC. Are you guys clear with my point? What is SDLC? What are the phases available in the SDLC? What is a waterfall model and what is agile model? Are you clear with that? Shall I move on to the next topic? Shall I move on to the next topic, guys? Yes. The next topic, the very important point that every DevOps engineer should know, what is cloud computing? What is cloud computing? Why we need to go for cloud computing? As a DevOps engineer, why we need to learn cloud computing? Are you guys getting my point, guys? So what we are going to discuss today, we are going to understand what is cloud, why we need to go for cloud, what are the benefits we are going to get with the cloud computing. We are going to understand what is cloud computing, okay? Why we need to go for cloud computing, why we need to go for cloud computing, okay? What are the advantages with the cloud? Advantages with the cloud. Then next one, cloud providers. Who are cloud providers available in the market? AWS cloud introduction. So this is the agenda for the today's session. In today's session, we are going to understand what is cloud computing, why we need to go for cloud computing, what are advantages with cloud computing, who are the cloud providers available in the market, and AWS cloud introduction we are going to understand. All right, guys, let's get started. Now here, first let's start our discussion related to what is infrastructure. Guys, can anyone tell me what is infrastructure? Any idea? What is infrastructure? Anyone? Please respond in the chat box. What is infrastructure? The resources that are required to run our business. The resources that are required to run our business is called as infrastructure. For example, if I want to start one school, I want to start one school to provide the education for the children. Okay. If I want to start the school, then I need to purchase some infrastructure. I need to take a building for the rent, or I need to purchase a building, or I need to take a building for the rent. Then in that building, I need to set up the tables, chairs, chairs, boards, right? Markers, dusters, fans, electricity, power, right? ACs. I need to set up a lot of things that are required to run the school. So whatever the resources, what are the resources that are required to run our school? That is called infrastructure. To run a school, if you see, boards are required, tables are required, chairs are required, markers required, duster required, fans, ACs, lighting, everything, security guard is required, staff is required. So many things are required if you want to run our school. So that is called as infrastructure. Okay, fine. This is the infrastructure that is required to start the school. Suppose if I want to start one hotel, if I want to start the hotel, then for a hotel business, I need to purchase some infrastructure. I need to take a big building, okay? And I need to set up power. I need to set up AC for that. I need to set up electricity. I need to set up tables, chairs, plates, spoons, cleaning boys, chefs, like that. So many employees are required and so many resources are required if I want to start one hotel business. So here you can see, if I want to start the school, some infrastructure is required. Similarly, if I want to start the hotel, some infrastructure is required. Clear, guys? Now, if I want to start one company, if I want to start one software company, so to start the school, you need some infrastructure. To start the hotel, you need some infrastructure. Now, I want to start one software company. So if you want to start one software company, if you want to develop a software project, we need some infrastructure. That is called as IT infrastructure. Information technology infrastructure is required. So if you want to start one company, you need to purchase some machines. You need computers for the employees to develop the project. You need computers to run the project. You need servers to run the project. Web servers are required. Application servers are required. We need a database to store the application data. We need a load balancer to manage the load coming to the application. We need a network for our computers. We need a power for the computers. We need storage for the application. We need security for our infrastructure, and we need to monitor our infrastructure. So if you want to start one software company, that is not easy. Lot of infrastructure is required to run one company. So the infrastructure that is required to run our company, that is called as IT infrastructure. So what infrastructure is required? We need machines, we need web servers, we need application servers, we need database servers, we need load balancers, we need network, we need power, storage, security, and monitoring. All these things we need, then only we can run one software company and we can develop the software project. Lot of infrastructure is required. Now here, two things we need to understand. First of all, we need a lot of money to purchase all this infrastructure. Crores of rupees we have to invest in order to purchase all this infrastructure. After purchasing the infrastructure, the second problem is maintenance. We need a big room. In that room, 24/7 network is required, 24/7 power required, 24/7 central AC required, and we need security for the machine. We need security for our office. We need to recruit the employees to manage our infrastructure. Are you guys getting my point? So that's why we need to recruit database administrator to maintain the database for our application. So software company, we are starting nothing but we are going to develop the software application for the customers. We are going to develop software application for the clients. So in order to develop the software application, if you purchase the infrastructure, that is not sufficient. If you purchase 1,000 computers, project will not be ready. Okay. First of all, we need to purchase the infrastructure. Then we need to recruit the employees to manage our infrastructure, to develop our project, deploy our project, and deliver the project. So we need to recruit database administrators. We need to recruit network administrators, database administrators to manage the databases required for the projects in the company, network administrators to maintain the network in our company for the computers. We need to purchase the computers. We need to purchase the servers. We need to set up the network. We need to set up the power for our office. Power backup is required. We need to set up the infrastructure to run the application. We need to deploy the application. We need to monitor our infrastructure, how servers are working, how database is working, how network is working, and we need to provide maintenance. If any issue comes in the server, if any issue comes in the network, if any issue comes in the power, we need to take care of that. So here, managing the infrastructure is very, very, very difficult. First thing is we have to spend the money to purchase the infrastructure. After that, we need to invest our time to manage the infrastructure properly. Then only we can run our company successfully. Then only we can run our project successfully. But here, if you go for the infrastructure management, there are n number of problems. First one is security. You kept so many computers in your office. Then what is the security for your office? What is the security for your computers? What is the privacy for your computer? Okay. What is the scalability? Today you purchased 100 computers, but you need 200 computers. Again, you need to go to market and you need to purchase another 100 computers. Okay. For example, 100 computers you purchased, but we got only one project. We need only 50 computers. Remaining 50 computers, there is no use. Okay. So here, increasing infrastructure, decreasing the infrastructure is very difficult when we go for our own infrastructure. Availability. You cannot say that today it is a heavy rain is available in Hyderabad, so there is no power. Our company will not work today. You cannot say that. You cannot say today there is a power cut in our area, so our application will not work. You cannot say that to the customer. So 24/7, we need to have availability for the application. We need to have scalability. We should have security. We should have privacy. And we need to manage network issues. You cannot say that today internet is slow, our projects will not work. And suppose if your building got collapsed, you cannot say that today our building got collapsed due to some earthquake, our applications are damaged, our data is lost. You cannot say that to the customer. If you are managing the infrastructure, these are the major issues you have to deal with. Security, privacy, scalability, availability, network issues, disaster recovery will be available. So maintaining the software company is not easy because lot of infrastructure is required. We need to purchase that infrastructure and we need to manage that infrastructure in order to run our company successfully, in order to run our projects successfully. Are you guys able to understand my point? So what are the challenges that you have seen in running the software company? Guys, what are the challenges you have seen in running the software company? Come on, guys. What are the challenges you have seen in running the software company? What are the challenges you observe? Now, if I want to run the software company, we need some infrastructure. What is the infrastructure? Computers, servers, network, power, storage, security, backup, monitoring, all these we need to purchase. Then after, we need to recruit the employees to manage our infrastructure. I have purchased infrastructure, I have recruited the employees, but still some challenges will be available. Security will be the challenge, privacy will be the challenge, scalability. Scalability means all of a sudden I needed 10 machines. For the next 5 minutes, I want 20 computers. Can I get 20 computers within 5 minutes? If I want computers first, I need to go to the shop and I need to purchase the computers. It will take at least half day time. But my requirement is within 5 minutes, I want 100 computers. Can I get that? No. You need to go to the shop and you need to purchase. For example, I purchased 100 computers, but I'm using only 50. I want to sell the remaining 50 computers in 1 hour. Can I do that? That is called scalability. Scalability means increasing the capacity, increasing the infrastructure, decreasing the infrastructure based on the demand is called as scalability. So that is the biggest problem when we are going to manage our infrastructure. Are you guys getting my point? So you need to purchase infrastructure. To purchase infrastructure, lot of money we have to spend. Crores of rupees money we have to spend. First of all, if you want to run one software company, okay, you need to take a big building. You need to purchase a lot of ACs. You need to purchase a network. You need to purchase the power. You need to set up so many computers. You need to set up security. You need to set up security guard. You need to recruit so many employees to manage your computers, to manage your network, to manage the power, to manage the security. Okay. And even though you have taken everything, today, if there is a power cut in Hyderabad, then today there is no power in your area. Your office is available in the high-tech city. Today, in the high-tech city, power is not there. Then what you will do? Can you tell to your customer, today there is a power cut, our application will not work? Can you tell that to the customer, today in our building, power issue is there, we don't have a power, so your project will not work today? Can you say that to the customer? No, we cannot say that to the customer. Can you say that, so this today, there is a heavy rain in Hyderabad, we are not getting the internet connection properly, so our network is not good, application will not run? Can we say that? Can we say that? No. Can we say, today there is a earthquake, today there is a earthquake in our area, our building collapsed, our systems collapsed, we lost our data? Can we say that? Clients will not accept that because clients will pay crores of rupees money for the project. They are doing business with the project. If you say such kind of silly reasons, client will not accept it because it will be loss for the client. So if you are managing all the infrastructure, you have to deal with all the issues. Now, if you are dealing with all the issues, can you focus on your project development? Can you focus on your company business growth? If you are dealing with network issues, if you are dealing with the power issues, if you are dealing with security issues, can you focus on your project development? Can you focus on your company business growth? Can you go to different places to meet the new clients to get the projects? Can you increase your company sales if you are having these kind of issues on daily basis? Are you guys getting my point? Are you guys getting my point? If you maintain the infrastructure, so many challenges will be available. You have to deal with so many problems on daily basis. If you are dealing with so many problems on daily basis, you will not get the new ideas to grow your business. You will not get the new ideas to develop the new projects. You will not get the idea to increase the brand of your company, because every day morning, sir, today power is not there. Sir, today network is not there. Sir, today our database administrator is on leave. Sir, today, so there is some security issue in our company. Every day you are getting the phone calls related to infrastructure problem. Then you will fed up with the infrastructure issues. You cannot focus on your business. You cannot focus on your company. You cannot focus on the growth of your company. So that is the reason today companies are not interested to maintain the infrastructure, because infrastructure management, infrastructure purchasing, infrastructure maintenance is very, very difficult. So here, two options we have. One is called on-premises infrastructure. Second one is called cloud infrastructure. On-premises infrastructure means purchase everything and manage everything on your own by recruiting some employees. Okay, purchase everything that is required for the company, recruit the employees to manage the infrastructure and develop the projects and run the projects. So that is called on-premises infrastructure. If you go for on-premises infrastructure, first you have to invest money. You have to spend money to purchase the infrastructure. And the second one, you need to recruit the employees. You need to pay the salary for the employees, and you need to manage the infrastructure. If any issue comes with the infrastructure, as a company owner, you are responsible for the clients. So that's why nowadays companies are not interested to go for on-premises infrastructure. Companies are going for cloud infrastructure. Companies are going for cloud infrastructure. What is the meaning of cloud infrastructure? Whatever the infrastructure you need for your company, you take the infrastructure for rent. You no need to purchase anything. You no need to manage anything. Whatever the infrastructure required for your company, whatever the infrastructure required for the project, you take the infrastructure for rent. You use it. You pay the rent for usage. Simple example. In your house, there is a function, guys. For example, your brother marriage is available in your house. For your brother marriage, you are inviting 500 people. You are inviting 500 people for your brother marriage. For 500 people, are you going to purchase 500 chairs for the function? 500 chairs, one stage, 200 tables. Are you going to purchase everything for function? Marriage function will be there one day or maximum 2 days in our house. For 2 days function, will you purchase 500 chairs? Will you purchase 200 tables? Will you purchase a stage for that? Or you will take for rent? We don't purchase. Why we don't purchase? Because after 2 days, there is no use of that. In our house, we don't have that much space to store the 500 chairs. There is no use of that. Purchasing 500 chairs, every chair will be 1,000 rupees. Every chair will be 1,000 rupees. 500 chairs you have to purchase. Lot of money you have to invest. Now, you will purchase that infrastructure for the function, or you will take infrastructure for the rent. Chairs, tables, stage, everything we will take for rent. We will pay 1 lakh rupees for 2 days rent. Chairs, tables, stage, decoration, electricity, generator, everything they are going to take care of that. Just for 1 lakh rupees, we are going to get all the infrastructure. After 2 days, they will take their infrastructure, they will go to the shop. Our function completed just with 1 lakh rupees. Suppose if I want to purchase the infrastructure, I have to spend 10 lakhs. I want to purchase chairs, I want to purchase tables means I have to spend 10 lakhs rupees. But with 1 lakh, we can complete our function. Similarly, Nowadays in the companies also, they are thinking the same. If we want to purchase infrastructure, crores of rupees we have to spend. Purchasing is one difficult problem, and second problem, maintenance, power, network, employees, issues, management. So many things will be involved. So that's why nowadays companies are not interested to go for on-premises infrastructure. On-premises infrastructure means purchase everything that is required to run our company, to run our project. Other side, cloud infrastructure is available. What is the meaning of a cloud infrastructure? Cloud infrastructure means you don't need to purchase anything. Whatever you need for your company, whatever you need for your project, everything you can take for rent using internet. Through internet, you can take the computers for rent. Through internet, you can take the network for rent. You can take storage, you can take security, you can take the backup, everything. Whatever the IT infrastructure that is required for your company, everything you can take for rent from the cloud. That is called cloud computing. So nowadays in the companies, cloud infrastructure we are using. Why? Because you no need to purchase anything. You no need to maintain anything. Everything will be taken care by cloud provider. We just need to use the infrastructure in the cloud, and we need to pay the money for using the infrastructure. It is just like how we are taking tent house material for rent in our function. Same thing, whatever the infrastructure that is required for the project, we can take the infrastructure for rent to run our company, to run our project. Are you guys clear with my point? So here, infrastructure is required. Can you guys tell me what is the meaning of infrastructure? Could you please respond in the chat box? What is the meaning of infrastructure, guys? So as I told you, as I have shown you in the diagram, what is infrastructure? The resources that are required to run our business, that is called as infrastructure. If you want to run one school, then you need this infrastructure. If you want to run one hotel, you need this infrastructure. If you want to run one company, you need this infrastructure. You need machines, you need servers, you need a database, you need a network, you need power, you need security, and you need monitoring machines also. Lot of things are required. So here, not only purchasing the infrastructure, and we need to recruit the employees also to set up the power, to set up the network, to maintain the machines. We need to recruit the employees. So after purchasing the infrastructure, we are going to face some issues. What are the issues? Security issues, privacy issues, scalability issue, availability issue, network issue, disaster recovery problems will be available. So here, how many types of infrastructure we have? Two types of infrastructure we have. One is called on-premises infrastructure. Second one is called as cloud infrastructure, guys. Okay, on-premises infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. Can you guys tell me what is the difference between on-premises infrastructure and cloud infrastructure? On-premises infrastructure means we have to purchase the infrastructure and we have to manage the infrastructure. So many challenges we need to face. Lot of money we have to invest, and so many challenges we are going to face when we deal with on-premises infrastructure. Are you guys clear? So now, to avoid the problems with the on-premises infrastructure, we are going for cloud infrastructure. What we are going to do, guys? Cloud infrastructure. What is the meaning of cloud infrastructure? Somebody will provide the infrastructure for us based on the rent. Whatever the infrastructure we need, instead of purchasing the infrastructure, we can take the infrastructure for rent from the cloud provider. So what is cloud? What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over the internet. Instead of we are purchasing, instead of we are maintaining the infrastructure, we can take the infrastructure for rent. That is called cloud computing. So what is the meaning of cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over internet based on demand. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over internet based on the demand. Cloud providers available, cloud providers are there in the market. Cloud providers available in the market to provide IT infrastructure, IT infrastructure based on pay as you go model. So there are so many companies available who will provide IT infrastructure based on pay as you go model. Pay as you go model, nothing but you pay for what you use. It is something like our credit card bill. It is something like our mobile postpaid bill. So here you need 100 computers. You use 100 computers. For that, using 100 computers monthly, you need to pay the rent. So if you don't need the computers, you need to give it back to the provider. If you need the computers, you can take it from the cloud provider. You can use it. So this year, my business is not running. I don't have any project. I no need to use the infrastructure. I no need to pay the rent. If I use it, then only I have to pay for that. So that is called pay as you go model. So here, in order to run one company, in order to run one project, lot of infrastructure is required. So there are two types of infrastructures available in the market. One is called on-premises infrastructure and the second one is cloud infrastructure. On-premises infrastructure means everything we have to purchase and we have to maintain. Lot of money is required and lot of employees are required and so many challenges will be there. To avoid the problems with on-premises infrastructure, we are going for cloud infrastructure. What is the meaning of cloud infrastructure? Some company will provide the infrastructure for rent through internet. That is called cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over internet based on the demand. Whatever the computers you need, databases you need, network, power, storage, security, monitoring, whatever you need for your company, whatever the infrastructure you need, IT infrastructure you need for the company, they will provide for rent. So that is called cloud computing. The company which is providing the infrastructure for rent, that company is called as cloud provider. So how cloud provider is providing the infrastructure? Cloud provider providing the infrastructure based on pay as you go model. What is the meaning of pay as you go model? So you use the service, for using their services, you pay the rent for them. That is called cloud computing. You no need to purchase anything. You no need to manage anything. You just to use the infrastructure, you pay the rent for using the infrastructure. If you use it, then only you have to pay the rent. If you don't use it, you no need to pay the rent for that. Do I need to invest a lot of money? Do I need to bother about network? Do I need to bother about security? Do I need to bother about security? Do I need to bother about the infrastructure? No, we no need to bother about the infrastructure. Are you guys clear with my point? So now I hope you got the clarity. What is cloud computing? Come on, guys. You got the clarity. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over internet based on the demand. So whenever you need, based on the demand means if you need, they will provide. Whatever you need, they will provide immediately. Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over internet based on the demand. Cloud providers available in the market to provide IT infrastructure based on pay as you go model. Pay as you go model, nothing but pay as you go model means pay for use. Pay for use, like credit card bill. Example, credit card bill. You use the credit card, then pay the bill. Postpaid mobile bill. Postpaid mobile bill. So similarly, cloud bill will be generated. If you use the cloud infrastructure on monthly basis, bill will be generated. How many services you will use in the cloud? For that, you have to pay the money on monthly basis. So that is called cloud computing. Cloud computing is are the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet based on pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, instead of buying, owning, maintaining the physical data centers and servers, you can access the services on demand basis from the cloud provider. Whatever the infrastructure we need, instead of we are purchasing the infrastructure, we can take the infrastructure for the rent. Who will provide the infrastructure for rent and what are the advantages with the cloud? There are several advantages with the cloud computing. So let us see this diagram. Can you see what are the advantages with the cloud computing? First advantage, pay as you go. That means if you use the services, then only you pay for that. If you don't use, then you no need to pay for that. Pay as you go. So whatever you use, for that only you have to pay the amount. If you don't use, then you no need to pay for that. That is pay as you go. And second one is low cost. You no need to invest anything. You just use the service, whatever you are using, for your usage only you have to pay the money. Pay as you go and low cost will be available. Scalability. Within fraction of seconds, you can increase your infrastructure and you can decrease your infrastructure. I need 100 computers. Within 1 minute, you can get 100 computers from the AWS cloud. So I don't need my computers. Within 1 minute, you can remove your infrastructure. Within 1 minute, you can create the infrastructure. Within 1 minute, you can increase your infrastructure. You can decrease your infrastructure. That scalability will be the biggest advantage when you go for the cloud computing. And availability. 24/7 cloud services will be available. They will never say that there is a power issue, there is a network issue. Such a kind of complaints will not be available in the cloud computing because they are running that business in the market from last 10 years, 15 years. Till today, there is no complaint on the cloud provider. So scalability is one of the biggest advantage. Availability is also another biggest advantage. So here, pay as you go. Whatever you use, for that only you have to pay. And low cost. If you use, then only pay. You don't need to purchase anything here. And the scalability will be available. Whenever you want, you can increase your infrastructure. You can decrease your infrastructure. Availability. 24/7 cloud services will be available for us. And the next one, reliability. Reliability, nothing but the strong. They are not going to fail. Whatever the infrastructure they are going to provide, that is not going to fail because it is already tested. It is running in the market from several years. So whatever the infrastructure we are going to get from the cloud, that is the robust infrastructure, strong infrastructure we are going to get. And the next one, security. So whatever the services we are taking from the cloud, security is cloud provider responsibility. We are not going to bother about security because we are taking cloud infrastructure. Cloud provider is responsible for our security, for our application security, for our data security. Providers are responsible. And the next one, for our infrastructure, providers are responsible. Okay, so infrastructure maintenance, security, all those things will be taken care by provider. Unlimited storage. When you go for the cloud computing, you can store any amount of data from anywhere. There is no limit on the data storage. Unlimited data you can store in the cloud. Unlimited data storage will be provided by cloud providers and backup will be available. Whatever the data that you are storing in the cloud, always they will maintain backup for your data. If by mistake, if your data is deleted, still you can get the data back from the previous version. Such kind of backup also will be available in the cloud. So these are called as cloud computing advantages. Could you please read these, guys? What are the advantages with the cloud computing? Pay as you go is one advantage. Low cost is another advantage. Scalability is one advantage. Availability is one advantage. Reliability, security, unlimited storage, and backup. Okay. So what is cloud computing? The process of delivering IT resources over the internet based on the demand is called as cloud computing. So cloud providers available in the market to provide infrastructure based on pay-as-you-go model. What is the meaning of pay-as-you-go model? Pay-as-you-go model means pay for use. What are the advantages with the cloud? Below are the cloud advantages. Below are the cloud advantages. What are the advantages available, guys? First one, pay as you go. If you use, then only you pay for that. And the second advantage, low cost. You don't need to invest anything. You use it, you pay for use. Okay. And the third advantage, scalability will be available. Whenever we want, we can increase our infrastructure. When we don't want, we can decrease our infrastructure within fraction of minutes. Okay. And the next one, availability. 24/7, the cloud resources will be available. Okay. And the cloud resources that we are going to take, they are reliable. They are robust infrastructure we are going to get. And we are going to get unlimited storage. Okay. How much data you want to store, that much data you can store in the cloud. Okay. For storing the data, you need to pay the money for them. Unlimited storage they are going to provide. And the next one, security. Security is the responsibility of the cloud provider, and the backup is responsibility of the cloud provider. These all are the advantages of going for cloud computing. These all are the advantages of going for cloud computing. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear with my point? Do I need to bother about maintenance issues now? Do I need to bother about the maintenance issues if I go for cloud computing? We no need to bother about maintenance issues if we go for cloud computing, because provider is responsible for everything. So as a company owner, what I will do, I will use a cloud infrastructure to run my company, to run my business, to run my projects. I will pay money for them. So infrastructure will be taken care by provider. I will focus on my company growth. I will focus on my business. I will focus on my projects development. So that is the reason nowadays companies are preferring cloud infrastructure. Are you guys able to understand what is cloud computing and what are the advantages with the cloud computing? What is cloud computing and what are the advantages with the cloud computing? Why we are going for cloud computing? To avoid the problems which are involved in the on-premises infrastructure, we are going for cloud computing. Okay. Now here, cloud providers. There are several cloud providers available in the market. AWS cloud, giving by Amazon company. Azure cloud, giving by Microsoft. GCP from Google. Salesforce. Like that, there are several cloud platforms available in the market. Okay. Now, out of this, all the cloud platforms, AWS is market leader. 80% of the market share is there with the AWS. AWS cloud started in the year of 2006. So Amazon company started cloud computing from 2006 onwards. Okay. From 2006 onwards, this AWS cloud is there in the market almost 2006, 2016, 10 years, 10 plus 4, 14, 14 plus 3, 17. Almost from 17 years, they are in the market. Okay. Amazon Web Services began providing the IT infrastructure from 2006, and 190 countries are using this AWS cloud. 80% of the market share is with the AWS cloud. AWS is called as market leader in the cloud computing. Are you guys clear with my point? What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon company providing services through web, through internet. They are providing the infrastructure. For your company, what infrastructure services are required, you can take it from the web providing by AWS. That's why they named it as Amazon Web Services. So services they are providing through web to run your business. In 190 plus countries, people are using AWS cloud to run their business. So what is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon company started cloud computing in the 2006. What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services. Amazon company providing Amazon company providing IT services through web since 2006. 190 plus countries using AWS cloud services. 190 plus countries using AWS cloud services. AWS cloud services using by 190 plus countries. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon company providing IT services through web since 2006. 190 plus countries using AWS cloud services. Okay. Now if you see here, AWS maintaining their infrastructure in the data center. AWS is providing infrastructure for rent. Where AWS maintaining the infrastructure, AWS will maintain the infrastructure in a data center. AWS will have 99 data centers. That means these kind of buildings available worldwide. Total 99 buildings available like this for AWS. Every building which is available like this is called as one data center. This is outside look of the data center. This is inside look of the data center. Whatever the infrastructure that AWS is providing, they are maintaining the infrastructure in a data center. In the India, total 6 data centers available, 3 data centers available in the Mumbai and 3 data centers available in the Hyderabad. Recently in Hyderabad, they have started the data centers. 3 data centers available in Hyderabad, 3 data centers available in the Mumbai. So in the India, total 6 data centers available like this. In the worldwide, AWS is having global infrastructure. Global infrastructure means where AWS is maintaining the infrastructure. So AWS is having data centers. Okay. So in this data center, they have the computers, they have servers, they have databases, they have security, network, power. AWS will take care of everything. You just need to use the infrastructure from the AWS. You pay the rent for using their infrastructure. So AWS will maintain the infrastructure in a building. That building is called as data center. Are you guys clear with my point? What is a data center, guys? Come on. What is a data center? Data center is a building where AWS will maintain their infrastructure. Data center is a building where they will maintain the infrastructure. AWS will maintain infrastructure in data centers. In data center. Data center is a big building which contains AWS infrastructure. Data center is a big building where AWS will maintain their infrastructure. Okay. So that infrastructure we are taking from the internet. We are using that infrastructure and we are running our business. So many companies are running their business by taking the infrastructure from AWS cloud. Are you guys clear with my point? What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Amazon company providing the services through web since 2006. That is called cloud computing today. In 190 countries, AWS cloud computing is using. AWS will maintain infrastructure in the data center. Data center is a big building where AWS will maintain their infrastructure. Okay. So let us see here, guys, what we are trying to discuss today. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the process of delivering IT resources over the internet based on pay-as-you-go model. Instead of we are purchasing and maintaining the infrastructure, we can take the infrastructure for rent from the cloud provider. The company which is providing the IT infrastructure for rent is called as a cloud provider. Amazon will do that. Google will do that. Microsoft will do that. Salesforce will do that. IBM will do that. Oracle will do that. IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, AWS Cloud. Like that, there are several cloud providers available in the market. Why we need to go for cloud computing? So if you purchase an infrastructure, lot of money you have to spend and you have to maintain the infrastructure. Okay. Purchasing the infrastructure, maintaining the infrastructure is very difficult. To overcome those problems, we are going for cloud infrastructure. There are several advantages with the cloud. Pay as you go, low cost, scalability, availability, reliability, unlimited storage, security, backup will be available. Cloud providers available in the market. Instead of we are purchasing the infrastructure, we can take the infrastructure for rent from the cloud provider. So here in this course, we are going to learn AWS cloud. What is AWS? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. AWS cloud is managing by Amazon company. Amazon company providing IT resources over the internet based on pay as you go. From 2006 onwards, AWS cloud is available in the market. So AWS will maintain their infrastructure in a building that is called data center. Data center, nothing but a big building where AWS will maintain their infrastructure. Now, if you want to use AWS cloud, then we need to create one account in the AWS cloud. Now, I want to create virtual machines. Okay, I want to create a database. I want a network. I want computers for my company. I want a database. I want servers. I want network. I want security. I want backup. Whatever the IT infrastructure you need, you no need to purchase anything. You can take the infrastructure for rent. How to take the infrastructure for rent? Tomorrow, I want to start Linux. So to start the Linux, I no need to purchase another computer to teach the Linux. I will take a computer for rent in the AWS with Linux operating system. Then we will start learning the Linux in that computer. Okay. Now I am taking a class in my laptop. My laptop is using Windows operating system. From tomorrow, I want to teach Linux for the DevOps people. Do I need to purchase a separate computer for that? Guys, do I need to purchase a separate computer for teaching Linux? No, I will take one Linux computer in the AWS cloud. So do I need to purchase the computer? I need to take the computer for rent. I will take computer for rent from the AWS. Okay, so that's why today I'm giving the overview what is AWS and why we are going for AWS. So actual Linux we are going to start from tomorrow. So to start the Linux, we need a Linux machine. That Linux machine, you no need to purchase. You can take Linux machine for rent in the AWS cloud. So that's why everybody should create the account in the AWS cloud. I have shared the video in the WhatsApp group, how to create the account in the AWS cloud. So go to this AWS. In the AWS, you can log in into the AWS cloud account. You can log in into the AWS cloud account. Then you can see the dashboard in the AWS cloud. So there are so many services are available in the AWS cloud. So total there are 200 plus services available in the AWS cloud. We don't need to learn all the 200 services. For the DevOps engineer, 10 to 15 services are required. We are going to discuss 10 to 15 services in the AWS cloud that are required. Those are required for DevOps engineer. So to start with that, you need to create your account in the AWS cloud. That is a free account only. You don't need to pay anything for creating account in the AWS cloud. Okay, guys. 1 year, the AWS account will be free. After 1 year, charges will apply. Okay. First 1 year, the account will be free. From the date on which date you create the account, from that date to the next 1 year, AWS account will be free. AWS account will be free. You no need to pay anything for the AWS for the 1 year. You can use the account for free of cost for first 1 year. After 1 year, you can create one more account with the new email ID. After 1 year, you can create one more account for the practice. Are you guys clear with this? All of you created account in the AWS cloud. 2 days before, I have shared the document to create the account. Today, I have shared video also to create the account. Just a 2 minutes video. If you watch that video, you will understand how to create the account in the AWS. So why we need to create the account? Tomorrow, I want to start the Linux. So to start the Linux, we need one Linux machine. So to create the Linux machine, AWS account is required. I'm not going to purchase the Linux machine. I will take Linux machine for rent in the AWS and will practice Linux commands. Are you clear? Why I discussed about AWS today? Actually, I thought of starting Linux today, but so many people will have a confusion how to use a Linux machine. Sir, I don't have a Linux machine. You don't need to have the Linux machine. We will create the Linux machine in the AWS cloud. Tomorrow, I will show you how to create a Linux machine in the AWS cloud. Then we will practice Linux command. Next 15 days, we are going to work with Linux only. Next 2 weeks, we need to work with the Linux only. Because Linux is prerequisite for learning the DevOps. Now you got the clarity why I discussed about AWS cloud today. Why not Linux? All of you, respond in the chat box. So to learn the Linux, do you need to purchase another computer, or we can take computer for rent from the AWS? From AWS, we can take the computer. Sir, how much rent I need to pay? 1 year free. You don't need to pay anything for the first year. 1 year free. We created a free account in the AWS, 1 year free of cost. From AWS, I will take one Linux machine. That Linux machine I will use to teach the Linux concepts for you. Okay. What software we need to install in our local, that I will discuss in the class tomorrow. Okay, guys. So how to set up the Linux machine, how to connect with the Linux machine, what softwares we need to install in our computer, everything I will discuss in the class practically. Everything I will show you. Whatever I am explaining in the class, whatever I am doing in the class, same thing you need to practice for next 2 weeks. Okay. Perfect. Good, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining this AWS and DevOps classes from last 5 days. So with today, we completed our free sessions, guys. So from tomorrow, I'm going to start the Linux. Whoever is interested to continue for this DevOps and AWS batch, it is going to take 4 months of time. Linux, shell scripting, AWS plus DevOps, including a project. Okay. The course duration is 4 months. Live classes will happen daily. Each topic to class notes we are going to provide. Interview questions we are going to provide. Daily class video also we are going to provide. Video access will be there for the 6 months. Last 4 classes I have uploaded in the YouTube. I shared the links in the WhatsApp group. Today class video also I will upload. I will share in the WhatsApp group in another 10 minutes of time. Thank you. Thanks for attending these classes. If you are interested to continue for this batch, you have to complete your enrollment process. The course fees is 16,000 for classes plus live classes plus backup videos. Thank you, guys. I will share the enrollment process details now.